Hi guys, MARKCHES here. Welcome to the channel. For today's video, I'll be vlogging about a tournament right now. It's actually a one-day tournament. Ito yung first game. Yan, first game yan. So, the tournament is played by Pinoy Liga. So, I'm playing for Kickstart Coffee Group. So, 6 teams, crossover. So, 3 games each team, then semis. It's a one-day league. So, new format that I'm going to try. So, laro-laro na ngayon. So, my first sneaker that I'm currently is the All City 10 version 2. So, we'll know later how it plays. And ito yung head ng Kickstart and sa Pinoy Liga, si Benny.
What's up, brother?
Congrats.
What's up, everyone? Thank you guys sa suporta dito. What's up, man?
Pinoy Liga, di ba? Promote mo.
Yeah, Pinoy Liga Cup #1, guys. One-day leagues. Every once a month. Meron po tayo yan. Come support us. Come join us.
So, sa Facebook
and Instagram. Pinoy Liga Cup po. Pinoy Liga Cup #1!
Alright. So, yan. So, we're waiting for our game. Third game kami, first game pa lang. Ito, mga malulupit. Mga larong labas eh. Larong ligang labas eh. So, we'll see where we hold up. So, kundi, laro-laro lang. Have fun lang. Diba? Experience. So, we're playing here in Activate Hoop Arena in Pioneer. The new court. Alright guys, see you later. I'll give you an update. Guys, changing my city to the Puma Nitro. So, I'll be testing a couple of sneakers today. Yeah. Clean court pero medyo dusty. Alright. Ayan si Papi Girl. Papi Girl. Girl Anderson.
This is Pinoy Liga Cup Retro Ones, and now we have here MARKCHES of the Kickstart Coffee Group. Mark, sino yung all-time sports idol mo?
Actually, nag-start sa akin mag-basketball talaga si Penny Hardaway. Hindi ko nakilala, Anthony Hardaway ng Magic. So, when I first saw him play, doon ako na sabi ko gusto ko maging parang siya. So, I tried to copy his moves, ganyan. So, eventually, nag-grow. And, yeah. Kasi ngayon si Lebron pa rin, saka si D-Wade.
Mark, ano yung pampaswerteng routine mo?
Actually, banana and coffee before the game. Para mas, ewan ko, something about black coffee, tapos I eat banana para energize, may caffeine sa katawan.
What hypes you during the game?
Actually, good competition, lalo na if the opponent is really competitive and parang underdogs yung team namin, mas ginaganahan ako maglaro para to step up my game.
Sa legends natin here in the Philippines, sino yung gusto mong maging teammate?
Sa Philippines, sa PBA, si idol ko si Verhel Meneses ng Sunkiss dati. Yun, talaga, Aerial Voyager.
Sa collegiate stars naman, sino yung gusto mong maging teammate?
Collegiate, ever since si Kiefer kasi mautak eh. Kahit di ganun katangkad, mautak maglaro. So, napapaikot niya yung game with his mindset.
If you're not, aside from playing basketball, ano yung pinagkakabalahan ng isang MARKCHES?
Well, actually, by day, I am a photographer, director. So, I do advertising shoots, ganyan, mga ads. So, yun yung main job ko. Then, sa gabi, basketball, and shoe review. I do sneaker review, MARKCHES sa YouTube.
So, going to shoe reviews, meron tayong shoes dito.
Oo nga.
Sa
Yan, hand over. Yung nakita to ng boss nyo eh. Ito guys, retro. Naabutan mo pa ganitong shoes?
Hindi.
Guys, ito, hindi ko rin ito naabutan. So, ito sobrang classic, parang vintage na to eh. Parang nasa museum na dapat to eh. Kita mo, parang all leather, tapos walang cushion. Kaya believe rin ako sa mga players before, naglalaro sila, walang cushion. Yan, grocery. Yan. So wala na tong brand na to, si former best import ng Ginebra, si Billy Ray Bates. So ganito sila maglaro before. So like, saludo talaga before sa mga before na nag-start na basketball. They play like ganito, sobrang hard, no cushion. So sobrang sakit yan sa knees mo. So kaya ano rin talaga, hats off sa kanila. Yan, classic.
And there you have it, Marches of the Kickstart Coffee Brew Crew. This is CJ, I'm your courtside reporter for today.
Yeah. Oh boy everyone, Markches here. Welcome to the channel, and for today's video, I'll be giving you my performance review of the Puma Rise Nitro by Demand. Let's go. A lot of you have been requesting me about the review of the sneaker. I actually had a sneak peek of this before, and a lot of you were intrigued with this Puma Rise Nitro, and I think this is worn by RJ Barrett right now of the New York Knicks. He's a Puma endorser. So let's start off first with the upper of the Rise Nitro. The Rise Nitro's upper features this very knit-like material. It's dual layered. You can see when I'm stretching this up, there's an underlining material which is the same material found here on the side. The tongue goes all throughout in the forefoot part. So this mesh material goes all the way to the side of the inner layer of the Rise Nitro, also on the medial part. So durability wise, you're very much covered, even though there's a net upper that stretches on top of it, but the durability will be there, and the snugness of the sneaker is, I think, one of the highlights of the Rise Nitro. It really gives you a very nice one-to-one fit, especially if you get the correct size for you. It's very soft and it hugs your foot really nicely, and that's one thing that I really felt when I first wore this, and when I was interchanging between this one and the other sneakers that I'm testing, is that the fit is really nice. It's like a sock hugging your foot for the entire upper of the Rise Nitro. This fused material is what they're calling the PWR tape, which is the power tape, which I think gives extra strength to the knit so that it doesn't overstretch, especially around the high wear areas where you can see this part. So this will stretch when you're moving laterally, so it prevents it from overstretching when you're doing lateral cut. So this goes that way, so it kind of holds the knit in the proper place. And of course, in terms of lateral support, don't be afraid. You can see this big piece here, this red, this is salmon, sorry. It looks like a red in the screen, so this is salmon colored in this colorway, and this neon green here, which I saw a lot of eyes looking at my sneaker, and they were asking what kind of sneaker is this. So it's not really used by a lot right now, so if you want to stand out when you're playing, if that's your thing, I won't be a judge because I like it when people look at my sneakers. So this one is really an eye catcher. And going to the back part of the sneaker, you can also see the power tape here wrapping your heel. The heel cup is an internal heel cup. It's pretty hard. It goes until this part of the sneaker, so it's a huge heel cup, and it really contains your heel quite nicely. And heel containment lockdown is really nice on this Rise Nitro, given that this is like a mid-top sneaker, very similar to the height of the Mellows. Another thing that I like is the comfort that it gives you around your ankle, which I think Puma is kind of known for right now, because the Mellows, they did that there too. Mellow ones too, they're pretty comfortable around the heel and ankle part of your foot, and even the tongue has a very nice padding to it. So the overall comfort of the sneaker is one thing that you really are gonna get on the Rise Nitro. It's one of their highlights on this one. If comfort is one of your main thing, you will like the upper of the Rise Nitro, and it will give you a very nice fit while you're playing. You won't feel your foot moving anywhere else inside the sneaker, even though this is a knit material, so that will cover your foot really well. And the lacing system is a flat laces, which you can tuck in so that it won't flap when you're playing. You can tuck it in, so it will give you a pretty nice look, clean look to the sneaker, and it will look like a boot if you're into that type of aesthetics. As for the insole, it has just an Ortholite insole, nothing too fancy. For the cushion of the Rise Nitro, thus the name Rise Nitro. It is a full-length nitro injected foam, and it's actually a thin slab of foam. So the foam or the cushion of the Rise Nitro is not that impressive in my opinion. It's very similar to the Mellow ones. It's a subtle cushion. It is low to the ground when I was wearing this, and when I was changing up to my LeBrons, to the All City 10, I really felt this one very low to the ground, and that will give you the responsiveness feel. And the nitrogen cushion gives you a very quick responsiveness in your movement because it doesn't have any delay. It's not plush, but after several wears it will become a lot softer, but don't expect too much. It will soften up a bit, but you really need to break in the cushion of the Rise Nitro, because at first you wouldn't feel the nitrogen kind of compressing, so you really need to heat up the nitrogen foam, so you will get that nice subtle compression around the heel and a little bit of bounce in the forefoot, but don't expect too much. As for the outsole of the Rise Nitro, this I think is another highlight of the Rise Nitro. Rubber compound used here is very hard, even though the pattern is really thin, especially around the forefoot. You can see the wave pattern is really thin, but it's really hard. This sneaker doesn't produce so much squeak, but it grabs the floor quite nicely. It's not top tier traction, but it gives a very decent traction. I didn't slip on this even on the dusty floor. As you can see, the X bar here, this plastic X bar, which gives a very nice heel to toe transition to the sneaker, and it's quite hard. So if you want torsional support around your sneaker, and this kind of crossbar will activate the foam a little bit, especially when you're running up and down the floor. But when I was jumping, it didn't help the nitro injected foam that much because of how thin the foam is, but it will give a little bit of activation. But in all honesty, don't expect too much out of the cushion of this one, because the cushion is really quite thin and there's not much rebound back on the cushion, which I think Puma should really focus on the cushions, on their density of their nitro injected foam, because I've tested a lot of nitro injected foam basketball sneaker that gives a very nice bounce back to the sneaker. So I think that's one thing that they need to really improve on their basketball sneakers. As for dust pickup, you won't have any problem with the dust pickup on this one, and the blades are ultra thin. Outdoor use is okay with this one, but I wouldn't recommend because of how not compressing the cushion of the Rise Nitro. But if you're a very light player, you could get away with that. And as for the weight of the Rise Nitro, it is 470 grams, so a little bit on the middle to a little bit heavy part. So heavy on my US 11 is around 500 grams, so 470 is mid mid-heavy. So take note of that. And the price of this one is around 8,000 pesos here in the Philippines. I know in the States this is a lot cheaper, so it really depends where you purchase it. Let me know what price this is on your country if you have the Rise Nitro. Hit me a comment down below. So my verdict for the Rise Nitro is it's a pretty stable sneaker, but in terms of stability it's quite narrow too. There's no pun intended on that, but even though it's quite narrow, it still gives you a very nice stability, but there's a lot more stable sneakers out in the market right now. The upper is, I think, the one of the highlights of this one. I really like the fit of this one. Kind of reminds me of the Trade 2 when I tested it out because of the knit upper. It hugs you like a sock. It gives you a very nice one-to-one fit around your foot. The traction is dependable and you can use it for outdoor use, but the deal breaker for me here is the cushion. It didn't suit for my playstyle, but maybe it will suit for you if you're a lighter player, if you want a lower to the ground and very responsive feel to the sneaker. I mean, you could really like this, and this will cater more to those type of players. So this has been my performance review of the Puma Rise Nitro. Let me know what you think about these guys. Hit me a comment down below. This has been MARKCHES once again. Thank you for dropping by. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.